Hello everybody, I am Shobha Severpi, Assistant Professor of CSE Department, Jyoti Engineering College. In this video, I am going to discuss about three topics in our sixth module. First one is dynamic versus static query, and second one is layout manager, and third one is adaptive class. Okay, so let's move on to the first topic, which is dynamic versus static query. Now consider one question: what are dynamic queries, and explain how they are processed with suitable example. Okay. So, dynamic query or dynamic SQL is a programming technique that enables to build a SQL statement dynamically at runtime. That is, the SQL statement is not complete at the time of compilation, and it can complete at the time of execution. So that type of uh, statements are called as that type of SQL statements are called as dynamic SQL or dynamic queries. Okay. So this is an example for static query. Here we can see the query is complete in this sentence itself, because select ID, first name, last name from customers. Okay, so the query is complete because we can select the ID, first name and last name from the table customers. Okay, so at the time of compilation itself the query is complete. So this type of query is called as static query. But in the case of dynamic query, here we can see an SQL statement is again select statement ID, first name, last name from customer table, plus we have to add one more specification for the row which has to be selected. Okay, so that specification can be given as where clause. Okay, so we have to select from customers where depends upon this condition. Okay, so this where clause is a variable, and we can enter the value of this where clause at the time of execution. This type of queries are called as dynamic query. So queries. Then this is an example for static query, and in this program, and this statement interface is used to create static queries. Okay, so statement interface is used to create our SQL statement. Then our SQL statement is this select star from the table. Okay, so this query is complete at the time of compilation itself, and it is called as static query. Okay, then this statement interface has three methods. Okay, so these are the different methods. First one is execute query. So this method is used to execute select query. That is, selecting means we can retrieve the data from the database. So retrieval queries can be executed using execute query method. And obviously we know that that is, after execution of select statement there must be a result. Okay, so the result set is the return type of execute query method. Then execute update. So this method is used to execute updation statements like insertion, deletion, updation, creating, dropping, etc. So what will be the output of this execute update? The database will be updated, and the status of the database will be returned, that is whether it is correctly updated or not. So if it is correct means it returns a positive value, otherwise it returns a negative value. So the return type is int. Okay, then boolean execute means it is used to execute queries that may return multiple results. So these are the different methods available in statement interface, and statement interface is used to create static queries. Okay, query. So again this is an example for the static query. Here we have used the statement interface, and we have used execute update method, and the queries are inserting, updating and deleting. Now we can move on to dynamic query. So prepared statement interface is used for creating dynamic query. Okay, and it is also used to execute parameterized query. Okay, so what is parameterized query is like this: we have a query with a list of parameters, and the parameters values are not specified. The syntax of this parameter query list is like this: question mark, and this question mark represents the parameters. So how many question marks are there, we can enter that much of parameters to the query. Okay, then this is the format of this is an example for parameterized query or dynamic query. Here we are going to read two values from the keyboard using read line of method, and the values are name and ID. And as we all know, when we are going to read a value from the keyboard at the time of execution, okay, so we can get the value of name and ID at the time of execution only. Okay, and using prepared statement interface, we can create a statement for executing the query. That is, we can create the SQL query to be executed. Okay, and the query is like this: update employee set name is equal to the parameter, and where ID is equal to again one more parameter, and that parameters will be explained in the following statements. Okay, so this is the number of our parameters. So one common name means the first parameter go, that is the first parameter to this prepared statement is name, and the second parameter to this prepared statement is ID. And when we get this when we get the values of name and ID at the time of execution, so we can say that this query will be complete at the time of execution, and that type of queries are called as dynamic SQL because the query is not known at the time of execution, sorry, at the time of compilation. Okay, so this is dynamic query. This is one more example, a complete example. Here we read an ID value, name and salary using keyboard, and these are the different parameters to our query. And these parameters can be read at the time of execution, so the query can be called as dynamic query. That's all. Static query and dynamic query. In static query at the runtime, okay, and it is more efficient. That is, static query is more efficient, but dynamic query is not that much efficient. Some execution time. Then here there is no need of prepare statement, but in the case of SQL query we have to use one prepare statement. And static queries are less flexible, and dynamic queries are more flexible. So the next topic is layout manager. So the question is, what are layout managers, and explain any two layout manager with an example. So layout manager is nothing but a class. Okay, it is a class which is used to control the way of arranging our GUI components. Okay. So layout manager enables us to control the way in which visual components are arranged in the GUI forms by determining the size and position of components with the containers. Okay, and there are 6 types of layout managers in Java. First one is flow layout, and second one is border layout, then grid layout, box layout, and card layout. And these are the different examples. So flow layout is like a word in a paper, word, or how to write. We should start from the left, okay, top left, then move to right. The format of writing or format of arranging the words are top to bottom, left to right. Arrange all the components with equal size, equal size cells. Okay, so this is grid type arrangement. Then border layout means we can give borders for every components here. And these are the definitions. Flow layout means it arranges the components in a container like the words on a page, and it fills the top line from the left to right, top to bottom. Then border layout, it arrange all the components along the edges or the middle of the container, that is top, bottom, right, left edges of the area. Then grid layout means it arrange all the components in a grid of equally sized cells, adding them to, okay, that's all. Then box layout, it arrange multiple components in either vertically, horizontally, but not both. Okay. Then card layout, it arrange 2 or more components having the same size. The components are arranged in a deck where all the cards of the same size and only the top card is visible. Okay. So these are the different layout managers, and this is an example for border layout manager. So how to write a border layout manager? This is an example. So as per this figure, we can see we have used one frame here, and we have used five buttons here. Okay, so how to write a frame? We are using our swing package. So the frame is JFrame. So first of all, we have to create the JFrame. JFrame f is equal to new JFrame of. Okay, then we have created 5 buttons: button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4, button 5, and the messages should be present in the, that is, it should be displayed on the screen. Button is north, south, east, west, and center. Now we have to add these components to our frame, so you have to use add of method. And when we adding these components to our frame, we have to specify the border layout. Okay, so the button 1 should be in the north side, so this are north, and this are button 1. Button 2 should be in south, and button 3 should be in east, button 4 should be in west, and button 5 should be in center. So this is the format of arranging border layout. Okay, now set size of method, that is already known. Okay, you might know that is, set size of method is used to set the size, that is width and height of your frame. And set visible means, that is, we should explicitly make the frame should be, uh, the frame visible. Okay, so that's all about border layout. And one more example, flow layout. So flow layout means arranging like words in a paper. Okay, here again we have created one frame and we have added multiple buttons. Okay, then the layout is flow layout. So flow layout, right means it is right aligned. If it is left means the one start from this position. Okay, so that's all about flow layout manager. Then the third topic is adapter class. So what is adapter class and how do we make you adapter class while handling window events? Okay. So Java adapter class provide the default implementation of listener interface. That is, we can use listener interface for event handling. Okay, but this adapter classes also provide the same functionality of listener interface. Then what is the difference between listener interface and adaptive class? So as we all know, if we use a interface, we have to use all the methods inside the interface. Okay, so it make the program lengthy. uh, so I will give you an example. Here is an example for window listener interface. So window listener interface has multiple methods, that is window activated method, window closed method, window open method. So these are the different methods inside this window interface. Okay, window listener interface. So when we implement our window listener interface, we have to use all these methods inside our program, and it makes the program lengthy. Okay, so the same functionality can be provided by one class, which is adapter class. So we, for this example, here we have used adapter class. Okay, so we can inherit only the needed methods. Here we have used window closing method only. Okay, but in the case of listener interface, we have to use all the methods inside the interface, but in the case of class, we can use only the needed one. So that is the difference between adapter class and listener interface. Now again we can go to the definition. If you inherit the adapter class, you will not be forced to provide the implementation of all the methods of listener interface. So we can save the code. Okay, interface. And these are the different listener interfaces: listener interface, key listener interface, mouse listener interface, and mouse motion listener interface. And the corresponding adapter classes are window adapter class, key adapter class, mouse adapter interface. Okay, so that's all about these three topics. Thank you.